across the taut strings. The instrument let out a soft, falling sigh. I peered inside the open cavity and smelled the mahogany and lacquer and wax, and the secret chill of the wires. For a moment, I feared the lid might fall on me, shut me away in that dark box, and I steadied it with my hand. Then I sang middle C, and the middle C wire vibrated, and I moved down the scale, note by note, and watched each string begin to move in turn, to quiver and blur as it recognized its own frequency in my voice. For all, the earth was alive with energy. Every atom of every single thing sang with its own resonance, and this was as true of flesh as it was of piano strings. Electrotherapy was starting to catch on in Germany by that time too, and I suppose I fancied myself as a radical young researcher, an innovator. As nearby as Gießen, Erwin Schlieffen was trialling his short-wave apparatus, and I remember I wrote to him to question the safety of its thermal effects. Perhaps it did kill the bacteria in the milk, I remarked, but it killed the mice as well. I pored over the dozens of photographs in Karl Francis Nagelschmidt's publications, carcinomas of the ear and tongue healed by his high-frequency treatment, which also offered a miraculous resolution of pain, though Nagelschmidt insisted that inoperable tumours remained inoperable, and that a patient with metastatic cancer had as little chance of survival as ever. Except I knew he was wrong. I knew it, Lotta. I saw for myself the veins of light that leapt from Tesla coils, coronas and streamers that seemed to depict the very pathways of the body, the blood vessels and nerves that led far inside a person to where the scalpel could not reach. Sing into the open piano. Watch the wire shiver. In May 1930, I travelled to Dresden specially to see the exhibit at the new German Hygiene Museum. He was in all the newspapers. The transparent man. A real skeleton sheathed in a hard, clear skin, with the circulatory and nervous systems wrought from 12 kilometres of wire, and every plastic organ packed into place. I told my mother that I thought seeing the model might help me design the prototype for my machine, and she burst into tears. "If only you could have found a cure in time for your father," she said. "I'm sorry," I said. On the train ride from Frankfurt, I watched my reflection slip across fields sprouting with barley and wheat and corn, so bright the green might have been painted on. My aunt and uncle met me at the station, my mother's sister and her husband. They lived not far from Dresden's Grossergarten, and day after day the crowds streamed towards the exhibition hall there. It seemed the whole country wanted to witness the body's secret workings. The transparent man hung on every advertising column, face upturned, arms lifted as if to catch hold of the sun. It was a clear May morning the first time I went to see him, I know that. Soft white fluff from the poplar trees flecked the air and gathered in drifts on the pavements, stirred by the movement of feet before settling once more into downy mounds. I made my way past office workers and factory workers and young mothers with all the time in the world. My final examinations weren't far away, and I whispered the anatomy of the ear to myself as I hurried along. Tympanic membrane, malleus, incus, stapes. There was too much to remember about the human body, how it functioned and how it failed. There is still too much to remember. I'd brought only heavy clothes with me from Frankfurt, unsuitable for the warm day, so my aunt had given me some of Uncle Alexander's to wear. The jacket, which smelled of tobacco, hung loose across my narrow back, flapped across my chest.